Hello everyone, and welcome to DevWave Diaries. Here, we dive into the latest web development trends and coding techniques. If you're passionate about tech and eager to learn, you're in the right place. Today I am going to show you how to create an eye-catching multicolor glowing border animation. Let's start by creating a div element with the class container. Inside this container, create another div with the class outside. Within the outside div, add another div with the class card. Inside the card, create an h1 tag and add a heading of your choice. After that, create a p tag and type lorem35 to generate some random text. This is the only HTML code that we need for this animation. Let's move on to the CSS. We'll start with the CSS boilerplate code, set margin and padding to 0 and use box sizing, border box to include padding and borders in the element's total size. Next, let's style the HTML and body elements. Set the width and height to 100% to ensure they cover the entire viewport. Apply a black background color to give a sleek look, and use the sans serif font family for a clean and modern text appearance. Next, let's style the container div element. Set its width to 100% and height to 100 dvh, which is a dynamic viewport height unit. Use flexbox to center its content both horizontally and vertically by applying display, flex, justify content, center, and align items, center. Now, let's style the card div element. Set its width 20 rem and height also 20 rem for a square shape. Apply a text color white and a background color of #1c1f2b for contrast. Center the text with text align, center and add padding of 2 rem for some spacing inside the card. Now, open the browser to see the result. You should see a card centered on the screen with some text inside it. Also, add a border radius of 10 px to the card to give it rounded corners. Next, let's style the h1 tag inside the card div using .card h1 selector. Set its font size to 1.8 rem and apply a bottom margin of 0.5 rem for spacing below the heading. Next, let's style the p tag inside the card div using the .card p selector. Set the padding to 1 rem on the top and bottom, 0 for left and right, and change the text color to gray. Next, let's style the outer div element using .outside selector. Add a red background, for px padding, and a border radius of 10 px to give it rounded corners. Now open the browser, and you will see the red outside div element, creating a red border for the card div. Now, we're going to update the solid red background color to a vibrant conic gradient. Begin by removing the current solid red background. Then, apply a background image using a conic gradient. Within this gradient, we'll add several colors. For this animation, you need to include the following colors I shown. Open the browser, and you'll see that the previously solid red border is now transformed into a multicolor border. The conic gradient creates a vibrant and dynamic border effect around the card div. Next, let's add a before pseudo-element to the outside div, to create the glowing animation around border. Start by using the before pseudo-element. Apply content, empty and set the position to absolute. To ensure the glowing effect is correctly positioned, add position, relative to the outside div. Next, set the width and height of the before pseudo-element to 100% to cover the entire outside div. Position it with left, 50% and top, 50%, then use transform, translate, -50%, -50%, to center it. Apply a background color of red to this pseudo-element. Open the browser, and you'll see a red box appearing in front of the card. Next, replace the background color of the before pseudo-element with the same background image used for the outside div. This will apply the conic gradient to the pseudo-element. Next, add border radius of 10 px to set round the corners to before pseudo-element. Apply a filter with blur, 1.5 rem, to create a soft, glowing effect. Set the opacity to 0.8 to make the pseudo-element slightly transparent, adding to the glowing appearance. Next, add position, relative to the card div. Also, set a z-index of 1 to the card div. This places the card above other elements, including the glowing effect, ensuring the card is visible on top. To create a color rotating effect, we are going to use the conic-gradient function. You can specify a degree value before the color stops. This degree value allows you to control the rotation of the gradient. We'll use this property to create a dynamic, rotating color effect in our design. First, we'll create a variable named angle using the @property rule. Set it up with the syntax angle, an initial value of 0 degrees, and inherits false. This variable will help us control the rotation of the conic gradient dynamically. Next, add the angle variable to the conic gradient by using from var angle. This applies the rotation angle stored in the angle variable to the gradient, allowing you to control the gradient's rotation dynamically. Also, apply the angle variable to the before pseudo-element. Next, set a z-index of 2 on the before pseudo-element. This adjustment will help you to understand the animation effect. Now, apply an animation to the before pseudo-element using animation, animate 5-second linear infinite. Use keyframes animate to define the animation. Start with the from keyframe and set the angle to 0 degrees. Then, add the to keyframe with the angle set to 360 degrees. This creates a continuous rotation effect for the conic gradient. Open the browser, and you'll see the conic gradient rotating effect. Copy the animation line and paste it into the outside div. This ensures that the border color of the outside div rotates in sync with the before pseudo-elements animation, creating a unified rotating effect. Remove the z-index, 2 from the before pseudo-element. Then, open the browser again to view the final effect. You will see a beautiful, glowing and rotating color border animation. If you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our latest content. Your support helps us create more exciting and valuable videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode of DevWave Diaries.